Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating topics, historical myths. These misconceptions have taken such deep root in people's minds that they seem like the truth. But the deeper you dig, the more you realize reality is way more interesting. In this episode, we'll break down some of the most popular myths that will change the way you see the past. We'll explore ancient history, discuss past civilizations, their way of life, and even find out why Neanderthals had such impressive noses. So, shall we begin? Let's start with one of the biggest myths. Humans are the pinnacle of evolution. Are we really the peak of evolution? Since childhood, we're taught that humans are the most advanced beings on the planet. But honestly, evolution doesn't care. Nature isn't about intelligence or strength. It's about survival and reproduction. Take jellyfish, for example. They're the ultimate survivors. They've existed in the same form for millions of years, and no one calls them flawed. Meanwhile, humans? We're actually losing useful traits. Our teeth are weaker, our eyesight is declining, and without modern medicine, our average lifespan would be much lower. Here's a fun fact. Ancient humans had much stronger teeth than we do. Archaeologists rarely find skulls with cavities. Our ancestors from 50,000 years ago practically had perfect Hollywood smiles without any dentists. And it's not just physical traits. In some ways, ancient people were smarter than us. Hunter-gatherers could navigate by the stars, instantly calculate trajectories, and memorize miles of complex terrain, all without Google Maps. Now, let's dive into another fascinating topic: Neanderthals. What did we inherit from Neanderthals? There are so many myths about Neanderthals, they could fill an entire TV series. They've been called dumb, primitive, and even blamed for our diseases. But the truth is very different. Neanderthals weren't just intelligent, they actually helped us survive. Thanks to their genes, we're better at adapting to cold, adjusting our sleep cycles, and even resisting viruses. If you handled COVID-19 easily, you might want to thank your distant relatives from the past. And what about looks? There's a common myth that all early humans resembled modern Africans, but that's not entirely true. Today's races and facial features only developed about 11,000 years ago. Before that, humans looked very different, though we can't fully reconstruct their appearance today. Now, let's bust another myth: the diet of ancient humans. The paleo diet. Was it really that healthy? The idea that early humans ate a perfect diet is a total myth. They didn't eat clean or balanced meals. They simply didn't live long enough to suffer the consequences of poor nutrition. Plus, many of the foods they ate no longer exist today. And of course, we can't skip the Egyptian pyramids, poisoned arrows, deadly scarab beetles, hidden traps. Those are Hollywood myths. The real Egyptians were pragmatic, and most pyramid lootings were actually done by the original builders. Myths, realities of ancient Egypt. The scarab god. His cosmic task. Here's an interesting fact. Egyptians believed the god Khepri, depicted as a scarab beetle, rolled the sun across the sky. Just like real scarabs roll dung balls. It symbolized endless rebirth and forward motion. But let's move on to another crucial topic: Egyptian writing. The ancient Egyptian language, a mystery for the ages. One important thing to understand: there was no single ancient Egyptian language. Egyptian writing spanned over 3,500 years, meaning it changed dramatically over time. Imagine reading ancient text from the 16th century. Half the words would sound strange or confusing. The same happened with Egyptian hieroglyphs. Over thousands of years, meanings changed, new forms appeared, and spoken language evolved so much that Egyptians from different eras probably wouldn't even understand each other. Today, Egyptologists identify 4 major versions of the Egyptian language. But how it actually sounded, that's still a mystery. The Coptic language, which is still spoken by a few thousand people, is considered its descendant, but no one really knows for sure. Hieroglyphs, not just picture writing. Most people think hieroglyphs are just word pictures. Like, if an Egyptian wanted to write house, they'd simply draw a house, but it's way more complex. Some symbols did represent objects, but many worked like phonetic letters, representing sounds. We only figured this out thanks to the Rosetta Stone, which had the same text written in Egyptian and Greek. That discovery allowed scholars to finally decode many hieroglyphs.